Listen, the first step to leveling up in life is understanding this simple truth. When you start focusing on yourself, everything around you begins to change. Success and peace don't come from chasing people, chasing validation, or running behind things that don't feed your soul. They come when you put that energy back into your own growth. The world pays attention when you move with purpose, but it all starts with you locking in on your own lane. The first key teaches you about the real power of self-focus. Too often, people spread themselves thin trying to keep up with what others are doing, constantly comparing their journey to someone else's highlight reel. But the truth is, every time you shift your attention away from your own growth and pour it into distractions, you delay your own progress. When you begin to redirect that energy inward, you start to see changes that others cannot ignore. Focusing on yourself is not selfish, it is necessary. It's like watering your own plant before worrying about anyone else's garden. If you keep feeding everyone else while starving your own goals, you will eventually run dry. Energy is a currency, and the way you invest it determines the kind of return you will get. When that energy is invested in learning new skills, strengthening your mindset, and putting in the daily work, it compounds into results that naturally attract success. People gravitate toward individuals who are moving with purpose because purpose creates momentum, and momentum creates influence. Imagine walking into a room where you do not need to announce yourself, yet people feel your presence because of the discipline, growth, and confidence you have built privately. That presence does not come from chasing validation, but from years of consistent focus on yourself. When you are locked into your own path, your goals stop being dreams and start becoming realities, and that shift radiates outward. Others start to notice, not because you told them, but because progress cannot be hidden. This is how you attract success without begging for it. It's how you inspire others without even trying. By focusing on your own vision, you create an energy field that pulls opportunities in your direction. But focusing on yourself is not just about material success, it is also about inner strength. When you are truly centered, no outside noise can shake you. Distractions lose their power because you are not competing with anyone but your past self. That inner focus sharpens your decision-making. It allows you to move with clarity instead of confusion, with strategy instead of impulse. And when you carry yourself with that level of discipline, people begin to respect you differently. You no longer have to demand recognition because the work speaks for itself. The second key is self-discipline, and without it, focus has no direction. Self-discipline is the difference between wanting and achieving. Everyone wants success, but only a few are willing to make the sacrifices required to reach it. Discipline means showing up every single day, even when motivation is gone. Motivation may give you the spark to start, but discipline keeps the fire burning when times get hard. It is about creating habits that align with your vision and sticking to them no matter how you feel. Feelings are temporary, but discipline builds permanent results. Think about how easy it is to say you want success, yet how many people let excuses control them. Excuses rob you of your future because they sound reasonable in the moment but leave you with nothing in the long run. Discipline demands that you refuse to let excuses live in your life. It means protecting your time, waking up earlier if you need to, staying consistent with your routines, and being honest with yourself when you fall short. Discipline is a form of self-respect. It is you telling yourself that your goals matter enough to sacrifice comfort today for growth tomorrow. When people see you operate with discipline, it changes the way they view you. They understand that you are not playing with your life, you are serious about your vision, and the universe has a way of rewarding those who remain consistent. Opportunities appear because you have proven yourself reliable. Success begins to align with you because you have created the structure to sustain it. Discipline is the foundation that turns focus into results, and without it, all the dreams in the world remain just dreams. Discipline is also contagious. The more you practice it, the stronger it becomes, and the more it influences those around you. People who lack discipline will either be inspired by you or fall away because they cannot keep up with your standards. That's the beauty of it. Discipline not only elevates your life but also filters your environment. It attracts people who value growth and pushes away those who waste time. Over time, you realize that discipline creates freedom. It frees you from regret, from wasted years, from the pain of not living up to your potential. When you combine focus with discipline, you create a force that is unstoppable. Focus gives you direction, and discipline gives you consistency. Together, they form the backbone of every success story. It is not about talent alone. It is about staying locked in when others get distracted and staying consistent when others quit. Success is not luck, it is built brick by brick through the daily habits that discipline enforces. And when you make discipline a part of your identity, success and peace will follow you naturally, because you have already aligned yourself with the path that attracts both. The third key is silence, and silence is one of the most powerful tools you can ever master. In a world where everyone is eager to show off their next move, there is unmatched strength in keeping your vision close and letting the results speak. When you talk too much about what you are working on, you open the door for unnecessary opinions, negativity, and energy that can derail your focus. Silence is not about hiding in fear, it is about moving with wisdom. Every great builder understands that the foundation of a project must be protected until it is strong enough to stand on its own. When you keep your plans private, you shield them from the doubts of others who might not see what you see. People can only attack what they know about, and if they have no access to your moves, they cannot interfere with your progress. Working in silence allows you to dedicate your full attention to execution instead of performance. It is easy to get lost in the illusion of progress when you are constantly announcing your intentions. You feel like you are moving forward simply because you spoke it out loud, but in reality, words without action mean nothing. Silence forces you to prove it through effort rather than talk. Over time, this discipline of working quietly builds a reputation that no amount of empty words can create. When the results finally show, they make more noise than any announcement ever could. Silence teaches patience, it teaches restraint, and it keeps you aligned with the bigger picture instead of being distracted by outside noise. There is also a psychological power in silence. When people cannot predict your next move, they cannot prepare to block it. Your unpredictability becomes an advantage. You move without broadcasting, and by the time others notice, it is already too late for them to interfere. This approach keeps you a step ahead, always working on the unseen. It is how true visionaries operate. They understand that energy spent on explaining themselves is energy taken away from building. By embracing silence, you give yourself the space to grow uninterrupted. But silence is not just about secrecy, it is also about peace. Constantly explaining your dreams and defending your goals can become exhausting. Silence frees you from that burden. It allows you to operate from a place of calm, knowing that your focus is on the work and not on convincing others. This calmness is what keeps you steady in the face of challenges, because you are not looking for outside validation to keep going. You have already decided within yourself that the work is worth it, and that decision carries you through. The fourth key is inner peace, and this is where true success finds its meaning. Having wealth, status, or recognition means nothing if your mind is in chaos. Inner peace is about protecting your mental and emotional state at all costs. It is about creating an environment where your mind can think clearly, your spirit can recharge, and your energy can remain balanced. Without peace, even the greatest achievements will feel empty because you will always be fighting battles within yourself. That is why protecting your peace is not optional, it is essential. Inner peace comes from the choices you make every day. It starts with the people you allow into your life. If someone consistently drains your energy, undermines your vision, or feeds negativity into your spirit, keeping them around will cost you more than letting them go. Protecting your peace sometimes means walking away from relationships, friendships, or environments that no longer align with your growth. It is not about hate, it is about survival. You cannot build a strong future while carrying toxic energy on your back. Peace also requires creating routines that nurture your mind. Whether it is through reflection, prayer, meditation, reading, or spending time in nature, you must find ways to reset and realign yourself. The world is filled with noise, and if you do not take the time to quiet it down, you will lose yourself in it. Protecting your peace means knowing when to disconnect from social media, when to step away from constant comparisons, and when to simply breathe and appreciate where you are in your journey. That inner stillness allows you to see life more clearly, make better decisions, and avoid unnecessary battles. Another part of peace is learning to forgive, not for others but for yourself. Holding on to anger, resentment, or grudges poisons your spirit. It keeps you tied to situations that no longer deserve your energy. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting what happened. It means releasing its hold over you. When you let go of what weighs you down, you create space for new blessings to enter your life. That freedom of mind and heart is where peace lives. When you achieve inner peace, your success becomes sustainable. You are no longer chasing goals out of desperation or insecurity. You are building from a place of clarity and balance. You begin to enjoy the process instead of just the outcome. You handle setbacks with calm instead of panic, and you celebrate progress without arrogance. Peace gives you the stability to weather storms and the patience to wait for your season. It is the invisible wealth that money cannot buy, yet it makes every form of success more meaningful. Silence and peace together create a shield around your journey. Silence protects your vision from outside attacks, and peace protects your spirit from internal collapse. With both, you move through life with strength, clarity, and confidence, knowing that your success will not only come but will also be built on a foundation that nothing can shake. The fifth key is patience, and this is one of the hardest lessons to master because we live in a world that glorifies speed. Everywhere you look, there are messages telling you that success should happen overnight, that if you are not rich by a certain age, you are failing, or that if your dreams are not instantly rewarded, they are not worth pursuing. But the truth is the opposite. Anything that comes too quickly usually fades just as fast, and anything that lasts must be built slowly with time, effort, and resilience. Patience is what allows you to endure the waiting period between planting the seed and harvesting the fruit. Without it, you abandon your goals before they have a chance to grow. When you develop patience, you learn to respect the process. You stop expecting instant gratification and start embracing long-term growth. This is where many people lose their way, because they get discouraged when the results do not show up as quickly as they imagined. But the greatest builders understand that every step matters, even the unseen ones. Think of a tree for months. It may look like nothing is happening while the roots are spreading underground, but without that hidden growth, the tree could never stand tall. Your journey is the same. Patience allows you to trust that even when progress is not visible, important things are happening beneath the surface. Patience also builds character. When you wait with discipline, you strengthen your ability to endure challenges without breaking down. You begin to see setbacks as lessons rather than failures. Every delay becomes a training ground for resilience. Every obstacle becomes an opportunity to sharpen your skills, and every season of waiting becomes preparation for the blessings ahead. Without patience, you rush through life unprepared, and when challenges come, you collapse under the pressure. With patience, you are seasoned, you are calm, and you are ready for what is next. Another powerful aspect of patience is that it protects you from envy. When you are rushing, you are constantly looking at what others have achieved and measuring your journey against theirs. This creates frustration, bitterness, and insecurity. But when you are patient, you understand that your timing is your own. You stop competing with other people's schedules and start honoring your own pace. You realize that what is meant for you will come when you are prepared for it, not when you force it. That level of patience gives you peace in the middle of the grind, because you know your season is coming. Patience is not passive. It does not mean sitting back and doing nothing while you wait for life to change. It means working hard every day, showing up consistently, and allowing the results to unfold in their own time. It means understanding that greatness cannot be microwaved. It must be cooked slow, with attention and care. When you combine action with patience, you create unstoppable momentum, because nothing can discourage you. The person who moves with patience cannot be broken by delays, cannot be shaken by challenges, and cannot be rushed into quitting. The sixth key is elevation of mindset, and this is the bridge that takes you from where you are to where you want to be. Success is not just about what you do, it is about how you think. If your mindset is limited, your results will always be limited. But when you elevate your thinking, you open yourself up to possibilities that once felt out of reach. Everything begins in the mind. Your thoughts shape your actions shape your habits, and your habits shape your life. If you want to change your reality, you must first change the way you think. Elevating your mindset starts with breaking free from limiting beliefs. Many people hold themselves back not because they lack ability, but because they convince themselves that certain things are impossible. They tell themselves they are not smart enough, not talented enough, or not connected enough to succeed. But these beliefs are chains, and the moment you let them go, you unlock doors that were always within reach. Elevation of mindset means replacing doubt with confidence, fear with faith, and small thinking with big vision. Surrounding yourself with knowledge is another key to raising your mindset. The books you read, the conversations you have, and the people you spend time with all influence the way you think. If you are surrounded by negativity, gossip, and excuses, your mind will stay stuck on a low frequency. But if you surround yourself with inspiration, wisdom, and ambitious energy, your mind begins to expand. You start thinking bigger, dreaming bigger, and planning smarter. That shift in mindset naturally changes the way you act, and those new actions attract new opportunities. Elevation also means challenging your comfort zone. Growth does not happen in familiar places. It happens when you push yourself into spaces where you feel stretched, uncertain, and sometimes even afraid. Every time you step beyond your comfort zone, you elevate your perspective and prove to yourself that you are capable of more. This builds confidence, and confidence fuels even greater risks and rewards. The higher your mindset climbs, the more you realize that the only limits that exist are the ones you accept. When you elevate your mindset, you stop moving like a follower and start moving like a leader. You begin to think long-term, making decisions that build a legacy instead of chasing quick wins. You stop reacting to life and start creating the life you want. And most importantly, you stop underestimating yourself, because you understand that your potential is far greater than you once believed. Success becomes a natural outcome of this elevated mindset, because your actions begin to align with a higher vision of who you are and who you can become. The seventh key is protecting your circle, and this is one of the most defining choices you will ever make on the path to success and peace. The people you allow around you directly influence your energy, your mindset, and your progress. Every conversation you engage in plants a seed in your mind, and over time those seeds grow into beliefs and actions. If your circle is filled with negativity, jealousy, or complacency, those traits will slowly seep into your life no matter how strong you think you are. Energy is contagious, and you cannot consistently walk through mud and expect to stay clean. Protecting your circle means being intentional about who gets access to you. It is about asking yourself whether the people in your life feed your vision or drain it. When you start focusing on growth, you begin to notice how certain people either uplift you or hold you back. Some friends may not be bad people, but their habits, attitudes, and lack of ambition can anchor you in place while you are trying to climb. Protecting your circle is not about judging or condemning them. It is about realizing that your journey requires a different level of discipline and energy. You cannot rise while constantly pulling dead weight. Sometimes that means creating distance from people you have known for years, not because you stopped caring, but because your vision requires you to surround yourself with those who inspire, challenge, and push you to be better. The power of your circle lies in alignment. If you are around people who dream big, who value discipline, who respect growth, you will naturally elevate. Conversations in such circles spark ideas, motivate action, and create accountability. You start to absorb their energy and reflect it in your own life. But if you are in a circle where gossip, excuses, and shortcuts are the norm, you will slowly become the same, even if that was never your intention. Protecting your circle is about guarding your environment the same way you guard your home. You would never allow a thief into your house, so why allow people who rob you of your energy into your life? This does not mean you must cut everyone off immediately, but it does mean you should learn to set boundaries. Some people may remain in your life, but at a distance that no longer affects your focus. Others may need to be removed entirely for you to truly grow. Protecting your circle is a form of self-respect because you are telling yourself that your peace, your vision, and your future matter too much to be compromised by the wrong company. Once you start surrounding yourself with people who align with your growth, you will notice your energy shifting, your goals becoming clearer, and your progress accelerating in ways you never imagined. The 8th key is faith in the process, and this is what ties everything together. Faith is the belief that your efforts, your patience, and your discipline will eventually pay off even when you cannot see the results right now. Most people fail not because they lack ability, but because they lose faith when the journey gets hard. They quit when progress feels invisible, forgetting that the darkest part of the night comes just before the sunrise. Faith in the process means trusting that every small step, every struggle, and every sacrifice is shaping you into the person you need to be to handle the success you are chasing. Faith keeps you grounded when challenges come. Life will test you and there will be times when you feel like nothing is working. But if you have faith in the process, you understand that setbacks are not the end. They are lessons. You learn to see failures not as proof that you should stop, but as opportunities to adjust, grow, and return stronger. Faith gives you the strength to keep pushing when your circumstances try to convince you otherwise. It reminds you that what you are building is bigger than the moment you are in. Having faith in the process also means learning to value progress over perfection. You may not be where you want to be yet, but faith allows you to celebrate small wins because you know they are stepping stones towards something greater. Every hour of practice, every early morning, every late night, every sacrifice adds up, even if the world does not see it. Faith is what allows you to keep going in silence, to keep protecting your peace, to stay disciplined, and to wait patiently for your breakthrough. Without faith, all of those other keys lose their power because you will abandon them the moment things get tough. Another powerful part of faith is that it teaches you to surrender control over the timing. You cannot dictate when opportunities will come, but you can prepare yourself to be ready when they do. Faith means doing your part with consistency and trusting that life, the universe, or whatever higher power you believe in will align things at the right time. That surrender relieves pressure because you no longer stress over how fast success comes. You focus on being ready, and when the moment arrives, you step into it fully equipped. Faith in the process transforms the way you see your journey. Instead of frustration, you feel gratitude. Instead of fear, you feel confidence. Instead of doubt, you feel clarity. You recognize that everything you are going through is necessary to mold you into the person capable of sustaining success. Faith does not remove the struggle, but it gives you the strength to endure it with purpose. And once you learn to hold that faith through every season, success and peace are no longer distant dreams but inevitable outcomes of the path you are walking. At the end of the day, success and peace are not things you stumble upon by chance. They are the results of how you choose to live and where you choose to place your focus. When you move with patience, protect your circle, elevate your mindset, and trust the process, you create a life that attracts everything you once thought you had to chase. It is not about proving yourself to others. It is about proving to yourself that you are capable of building something real, something lasting, and something that reflects the best version of who you are. The journey is never easy, but it is always worth it, because every step forward shapes you into someone stronger, wiser, and more at peace with yourself. Thank you for taking the time to watch, listen, and grow with this message. Your energy and your presence here mean everything, and I appreciate you being part of this journey. Keep pushing, keep building, and keep focusing on yourself. because the best is yet to come.